Jim Williams here, Amadeus, and we're here for the madness. It's the Thursday edition, and we got some games tonight. Some fun basketball games. We also have some soccer. So what's on your radar there, Amadeus?
Oh yeah, everything's on the radar. The college basketball, the soccer, you name it. The 4 games in NBA tonight.
Got them all.
Yeah.
Well, where do you want to start?
Yeah. We can start with the soccer. That one's going to be starting soon, I guess.
Okay.
We were so close to cashing that draw with Kazakhstan and Slovenia. It just finished about a half hour ago, that match, and Kazakhstan, they took a lead in the first half. It was looking great because Slovenia looked like the better team. You knew they were going to come back and tie it. They tied it right at a halftime, and then kind of lulled you to sleep for the next 30 minutes, and then on a quick counterattack, Slovenia. It was a really nice goal, but there's a little bit of luck in there. It was a cross into the box. The guy was running, and all he kind of did was just stick his foot out, and it just floated right over the keeper and into the net. So that was disappointing. That one happened with about 15 minutes to go. And other than that, that draw was looking real damn good. So a little disappointed, but Slovenia doesn't look like a bad team. That's for sure.
Well, that's a good part, right?
Yeah.
So let's see who else is on the docket for today. Got it right here.
Italy, England.
CONCACAF Nations League. Anything there that excites you?
The CONCACAF Nations League. I mean, if you're betting those games, good luck. Like this,
You're not taking French Guiana and Dominican Republic today?
Oh, come on, man! I'm all over the British Virgin Islands against Puerto Rico. Like
somebody has to be.
Yeah, these games are kind of brutal. Suriname and Mexico. The African games aren't great. There's some decent, Portugal, Liechtenstein, and yeah. I mean, Italy, England is the showcase.
I was going to say Amadeus is about 4 hours away from celebrating another Italy victory.
Yeah, 1-0. Lock it in right now. What's what can you get on the final score for that? Oh, plus 600 for 1-0 Italy. Lock it in.
Wow.
Yeah, you got
Sean, did you say you like the North Macedonia game?
Yes, I like that a lot today. They're not bad. They beat Germany. They knocked Italy out. Malta, is not going to show up with a regular. They're not what the FIFA rankings are.
I think the best way to describe that game is North Macedonia is kind of like a Sweden type team. They're not great. They're not going to qualify for every competition, but they're not a bad team either. And then Malta, I would group more in with San Marino. And those guys.
Malta is, let's see, I'm trying to figure out where Malta is here in the rankings. They're ahead of Macau. They're 167th. They're between Barbados, South Sudan, Vanuatu, South Sudan, Barbados are just ahead of them. Cuba, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, which I don't understand how Puerto Rico has a team because Puerto Rico is part of America. So it's a Commonwealth of America. They shouldn't really have a team. And North Macedonia is.
Well, they had a team in the World Baseball Classic too.
Yeah, they should get their own country then. I don't want to get into politics, but go form your own country. North Macedonia is 65. The teams ahead of them are Slovenia, Iceland, and Jamaica. The teams behind them are Albania, South Africa, and Iraq. aren't terrible. Panama's a little bit ahead of them. Qatar's a little bit ahead of them. Northern
Really good
Ireland's
today.
a little bit. Ghana's a little bit ahead of them. So the team, Ghana, Northern Ireland, Qatar, Panama, Iceland, North Macedonia, all about the same. Canada's 10 spots ahead of them, and Canada's not terrible. So, there's 100.
I would
spots
think North
between those
Macedonia
teams.
is better than Canada.
I think probably by the time the next rankings come out, maybe they might be, but it just depends. I mean, both those teams keep winning games, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, they're a sneaky team for sure. I mean, even Slovenia looked pretty good today in their game. So
The name alone, sneaky.
Yeah, look, I mean these.
What happened to South Macedonia?
Oh, you can't ask that question.
All right, well then it won't.
I don't even.
You can't even ask about North Macedonia. In some parts, you get I mean, some people don't even think it's a country.
Hey, just out of curiosity, Sean, could you do us a favor, Amadeus and I? Could you get us a burger while you're there?
Yeah.
Burger subs, okay.
Burger map. Yeah, deli on a bagel. I gotta go. I have an appointment about 20
I heard
minutes.
that's a good place.
At the burger shop, you got an appointment.
No, it's Reiki. I got Reiki. Right, her shop is right down here. Yeah, it's right by. Pennington School is right back here, right behind there's a tower there. Right on the other side, there's the Pennington School. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's nice. It's right off of Route 31 here. So,
Okay. Nice neighborhood.
it's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to have a baseball game today, but I don't know. I keep calling them and saying, "Are you sure you're playing? Are you sure you're
It
playing?"
rained all morning here, and now it's sunny. So
I mean, it rained. It's been raining all morning and afternoon, and it's not sunny here. And it was supposed to be like 68 by now. Like it's not warm. So, and the sun's not out. Like this, nothing's drying. So, and it's not real windy. So, I think they're gonna. It's opening day, I guess, for the team. So they'll probably try to play, but at what cost? I guess one of the kids is going to Maryland on a full ride. Maybe one of the pitchers. You really want your pitcher throwing and stuff like this. So, it is what it is. We'll see. What time are the basketball games tonight?
yeah, I got them up right here, boys. First up is Michigan State and Kansas State. And followed by Arkansas, UConn, followed by Florida Atlantic and Tennessee. And the nightcap is, of course, Gonzaga and UCLA at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
Phillies just lost Reese Hoskins to a non-contact knee injury.
Ouch.
Carted off the field.
Oh man.
What? He must have stepped in a hole.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not a good note. So they're not going to know how long they lost them. They just know they lost them. By the way, for those of you channel surfers, the first game tonight is on TBS at 6:30. Then 7:15, you flip over to the big boys at CBS. Then TBS has got the 9 o'clock game, and CBS closes out the night at 9:45 with Gonzaga UCLA. So that's the and by the way, the other part is that tonight, for the first time in a long time, they're playing at the Garden. So Michigan State and Kansas State, Florida Atlantic and Tennessee are at the Garden tonight.
Yeah.
They power seeded these teams, and I thought one of the things that caught my eye was that they reseeded Tennessee at a 10 as the 10th best team in the Sweet 16. I thought that, that was kind of undervaluing them. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Just saw Armando Baycott has decided to come back for another year for
Mhm.
at UNC. So that's good news after this debacle of a year for them.
If you're at the Gonzaga UCLA game, right? UCLA's got the guards. Drew Timme, though, is the best guy on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You let him get his points and go for your way, or how does that work? Because UCLA defensively is one of the best in the country. They're allowing 56 points a game, while Gonzaga is one of the best scoring teams in the country and averaging about 80 points a game. So what do you say? I'm thinking I'll let Drew Timme get 30 points on me.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're going to throw
If I
some
can
size.
play.
I think they're going to throw some size at him.
Yeah, I mean they're going to keep Bombo away from him because he'll foul out in the first 3 minutes. So that's not going to work. But yeah, you could do the old Phil Jackson routine where you put 3 different guys, just rotate guys, centers in there to take care of, you got 9 fouls to give up. So, you get rid of them. But yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, I think, because UCLA is missing Jalen Clark, which is gonna be that's a big part of their defense right there. So
right.
So it's gonna be tough. As you said, Drew Timmy's the best player on the court. So I mean, good luck stopping him is what I say. You might just have to let him. That's what I mean. You might just have to let him, as you said, score all night, and then just it might have to be more of an offensive effort from UCLA. If you look in the last game they played against Northwestern, and they did the same thing in the Pac-12 final against Arizona. They have these leads late, and they started to blow them, and that's what they did. They were up 6 with 2 minutes to go against Arizona, blew that one. Against Northwestern, every time they pulled away by 6 or 8, it was like all of a sudden the game was within 3 again. So I think that might, creep up on them here, those defensive issues.
Yeah, I mean, the other one, is I'm trying to look here real quick. Oops, I hit the wrong place. Okay, here we go back. The UConn Arkansas game is probably, to me, one of the toughest to pick.
Yeah, it's interesting how the spread is 4. It actually just changed to 3.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it just changed to 3.5 in front of my eyes, actually, just now. But it was 4.5 earlier this morning.
Really?
Yeah, so it's really, I hear a lot of people on UConn in this game. A lot of people are on UConn, and I don't know, Arkansas.
I like UConn.
There's supposed to be this. Yeah, see, Sean likes UConn. But this Arkansas team,
UConn was 15-0 to start the season, and everybody was talking about them being this is the greatest UConn team ever. And then all of a sudden they lost a couple games. Kind of the same thing as Gonzaga a little bit, but they're a very good team. But so is Arkansas.
Yeah, see, Arkansas, they're like the 16th best defensive efficiency in the country, which I find interesting because they have blown quite a few leads near the end of the season there. But they were also the first team to beat Kansas this year when Kansas had a lead at halftime. Before then, I think Kansas was something like they were 20-something and 0 when leading at halftime. So every game where they had a lead at halftime, they went on to win, except when they ran into Arkansas. So it's going to be a tougher game for them. I think a lot of these games probably could be pick'ems. Like I'm surprised UConn was favored by 4.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that one would be more of a pick'em. The Gonzaga UCLA, I think that one opened at UCLA -2, and now it's -1. So it's been moving towards Gonzaga. And the same thing in the Michigan State Kansas State game. That was -2, and now it's -1 for Michigan State. So
you know what it might be in that case is UCLA is banged up, and maybe somebody knows something about the roster for tonight that we don't know yet. Tyler Campbell, the point guard for UCLA, He might be the best point guard in the tournament. The last game they played, he missed 7 shots. He was 0-7 from the floor. He had 14 free throws because he keeps getting to the line. So he scored 14 points. He didn't score a basket, that wasn't from the free throw line. But what he does is he's very good at taking charge of the game, and he's been probably their saving grace down the stretch when they've gotten all these injuries.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely one of their best players by far.
It's interesting that the two.
He's a roster 5'11" player, so we know he's not that tall. But
it's interesting that the 2 late games both nights are probably the 2 marquee games. I mean, I probably on purpose, but Gonzaga, UCLA, Xavier, Texas, the 2 games that probably pretty. I mean, the lines are, Texas is -4, but I don't know. I think that's going to be a pretty close game. They put Creighton and Princeton at 9:00 as well tomorrow night, but the lines tomorrow for those games: Alabama, 7.5, 7.5, 10, and then Xavier, Texas. So tonight, I think are the tougher games to call. I would say I would go Kansas State, UConn, Tennessee, Gonzaga, but that would be my picks for today.
I know why you like Xavier, Sean. Because coach.
I'm coaching.
Exactly, right? That's your team.
I do. They are. I mean, they're pretty talented. Sometimes those teams, in that first game, they kind of get that scare and they say, oh, you know what? Like they really could have lost that game with any kind of luck from the other team there. So, I mean, they were down the whole game and they were down by 13 and then went on that 13-0 run. We were live talking about that on the air. We had Rick Fortenbaugh on, and he was talking about the stuff that he did. He ended up winning a lot of money on that game. He finds favorites that go down early, and then live bets. Then live bets the favorite when it's plus money. So in that game, Xavier was like plus 350, and then within a minute they were minus. Within probably 3 minutes of real time or game time, they were minus 1,000. Maybe 5 or 6 minutes of real time. Like, it was crazy. They went from down 13 to up 2, and the line went as soon as they took the lead, it went crazy. They went up to minus 1,000. They're gonna win now. But you could have gotten them at plus 360, and the game after that was still pretty close. So
yeah. Did you guys hear about this? What Coach Sean Miller has been doing to his team all year?
No, what's up?
Apparently, earlier in the season, he found a really heavy rock that he likes.
Okay.
It's almost like a boulder. And so he took the rock to the team and he said, whoever leads the team, whoever has the most turnovers at the end of the game, you're carrying the rock for the week. In your backpack, bring it to class with you. You're carrying that rock around. So ever since he started doing that, their turnovers have decreased a lot because nobody wants to carry the rock around.
That's a good idea. You remember the old Kansas City Chiefs coach, Hank Stram? Well, yeah. Hank used to have a saying, you're one banana peel away from sliding off this team. So to your point, Amadeus, if somebody fumbled or did something stupid in a game, during practice, he had this banana, plastic banana on a hook thing that you would hook to your jersey. And so you're out there playing on the field with a damn banana flying off of on the side of your shirt. Hello.
We got a special guest.
Oh, okay. Bring them in. Good to see. How are you?
This is Sheba. Who's going to win the games tonight? Sheba's a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
But
my condolences.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
She's actually from London, right? Just south of London.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, she then she
She's
knows her soccer.
she's my Reiki. Yeah, she's my Reiki person. So
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah, she's very good.
Okay.
Her son is the one who does. He actually streams some stuff for Capital Sports. He streams some
Oh,
games
cool.
for us. He's a big basketball guy.
Mhm.
If he was here, we could have got his picks. I don't think she watches basketball too much.
Oh well, that's okay. Guys, the Texas coach is an interim coach.
Yeah, Rodney Terry.
So
The other Texas coach already has a job.
yeah. So you wonder, what's this guy got to do to get this? Now remember, the year that Chris Webber and Fab Five was together at Michigan.
Yeah.
And they fired Bill Frieder the day before they went to the tournament. And
Yeah, because he was looking at other jobs, right?
Yeah, he was. You know how those interviews go with the end of practice the day before the tournament. You're headed out for the tournament.
Yeah.
Well, somebody said, "We understand that you're interested or you've shown interest in the Arizona State job." And so Frieder goes, "Look, I haven't spoken to Arizona State. My representative may have spoken to Arizona. I didn't speak to Arizona State, but he says it's a lovely place. Who knows? It just depends on." And so he was kind of like off the cuff. But it was Bo Schembechler who was the AD then. Schembechler takes this and goes, no. I want a Michigan man coaching Michigan. Fires him before the team leaves to go on the plane to the tournament. Steve Fisher takes him to a national championship.
Yeah, 1989.
Right. And
they beat Seton Hall. That was before the Fab Five.
Right. And then the rest is history because, we never heard again from Bill Frieder, who did take the Arizona State job. But, cautionary tale. Be careful what you wish for.
Foxy said he was able to bet before kickoff yesterday on Manchester United, soon to be Manchester United forward Evan Ferguson to score first start. Ireland
this just in.
To score. Yeah, yesterday Ireland played. So that was a good bet. Foxy, he is a beast. Whoever gets him is going to be set. He's the next whoever you want to say. Kane. He's a monster. This kid. England. I know England was trying to get him to play for him, but he's like, "Nah, I'm playing for." He's the kind of guy like Holland who maybe could take Norway to another level. Norway now with Holland and Odegaard and some players. I mean, you start to raise the level of play. So he could probably raise the level of play there. I mean, obviously you need more than just a guy that can put the ball in the net, but that's a start. If you can have somebody that can score, see that. I honestly hope Brighton. You pick Brighton to finish fourth, right?
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
I think
my number 4 right there.
I a little bit kind of hope they do because I'd like to see that team stay together. I mean, they're going to get picked apart, but if they sell, I don't know, Caicedo for $100 million with all the extra money they get from the Premier League, all of a sudden you can go out and buy 4 or 5 new players to add to this team. Like they'll probably sell Latvia much more competitive than I expected. Yeah. Plus, I don't know how good Ireland is. Right? They're just okay. But I hope they do. I hope they, maybe they make Europa League and they stay together. They could also fund some stuff like, Napoli now is getting a little bit starting to bully people and saying, listen, this guy's not going for less than 150 million, which is, if you're going to pay that, then pay it. If they win the Champions League, Brighton will get top 4 for me and FA Cup winners.
That's a shot at himself and you.
Yeah, no, the problem.
They play you guys next.
Yeah, no, that's a brutal game. That's a brutal matchup for us because we have to have that Sevilla tie wrapped up. I mean, hopefully it's like the same as it was 4-1 against Betis, and then you go to Spain and just kind of control the game. Because if it's not wrapped up there, playing 3 days later, it's going to be really tough. So
Sevilla's no Betis,
Brighton's
though.
really, really good. They're good. I mean, they're fun to watch. That guy's a really good coach. Once again, they thought it was the coach. Nah, it's a system.
Players. Yeah, well, that's system.
Yeah. System, the players. I mean, these guys are all really, really good. I mean, Estupinian and Casado and Evan Ferguson and
they've been missing Lallana for the longest
Milana's
time
been
too.
good. Welbeck's been good.
My guy Matoma. Oh man,
Matoma's been phenomenal.
Nasty. He is nasty.
Why does cheese have holes? What?
This is a major question.
I don't know why. But yeah, so but I guess I'll take that opportunity to say I have to go to my appointment now. So
Okay.
I'll be back tomorrow. Just let me know why cheese does have holes if you find out.
Why does cheese have holes?
I don't
That's
know.
a good question.
He's asking. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, take care.
Yep. Have a good one, man.
You too.
So, the question, the burning question: why does cheese have holes?
That's only Swiss cheese, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Go ask the Swiss about it.
Yeah, they're the ones that got us into trouble.
Yeah, their cheese, their chocolate, everything, their banking system, everything's done different over there.
Okay, according to jokes.com, here's your jokes. The defense has more holes than my mother's Swiss cheese. And another one is, why doesn't cheese have holes? Why does cheese have holes in it? And you have to go to Reddit for this one. Because of,
don't get caught in the Reddit rabbit hole.
They actually gave a scientific reason why. It's like, oh, good. Okay, fine. Can't take a joke. All right, enough of that. All right. All right, so we talked a bit about the games tonight. Did we miss one? I think we kind of missed a Tennessee game. Florida Atlantic and Tennessee.
Oh yeah, kind of just glossed over that one.
Yeah, that
might
Florida
be the
Atlantic
trickiest
at
game.
33-3, Tennessee at 25-10. Now, the theory of the case on Tennessee in the power rankings was that they were unimpressive in getting there. I mean, but they got there. And that Florida Atlantic was, showed guts and grit.
Yeah, Tennessee to me was a team I definitely thought was overrated during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I know FAU was 33-3 and they were this great team.
In Conference USA.
Look, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jim. Look at who they were playing, right? And I guess there are some good teams like North Texas and UAB are in the semifinals with NIT, but you're playing your season against like the Louisiana Techs and the Middle Tennessees of the world. Like me, you, and Sean could go 33-3 in that conference.
That's possible.
Come on, right? So I think it's actually the trickiest game on the board tonight. I really do, because I could see a scenario, Tennessee just bullied Duke off the court with their size, and I could see another scenario tonight where they just bully FAU around. But at the same time, I could see FAU sticking in this game. So the one thing I've heard a lot of people talk about Tennessee, they've been focusing a lot on Tennessee's flaws, how they weren't great in the regular season. They were terrible on the road in the SEC. But at the same time, I look at FAU and I say, okay, they played in a weaker conference. Look at the teams they played. So people have been talking about how Tennessee struggled against Louisiana in the first round. And yeah, okay. So they struggled in that one. And then in their last game against Duke, they were completely dominant. And obviously Duke's a smaller team.
Right.
But I haven't heard a lot of people touching on the fact that, FAU was lucky to beat Memphis.
They were lucky to beat Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, I had a ticket on FAU against Memphis, and I had written it off basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came out of nowhere in that last minute, and they were lucky to win that game, in my opinion. And then, as you said, flash forward to the next round, you take a 7-point lead on Fairleigh Dickinson at halftime, and right out of the gate, FDU comes back, ties the game, takes the lead, and all of a sudden, that's a 2-point game back and forth up until about 2 minutes left in the game, where FAU just all of a sudden, went on like a 10-0 run and spread the gap by 10 points. But up until then, it looked like they were going to get beat in that game. So I really don't know about this game. This is the one that I'm probably going to stay off.
I'm looking at Ken Palm's rankings this morning, and Ken Palm has Tennessee's the 6th best team left in the tournament. And they've got Florida Atlantic. I'm sorry, not the 6th best team left in the tournament, the 6th best team in the country. And they've got Florida Atlantic as the 21st best team in the country.
Yes.
So, Ken Palm usually has a pretty good feel for what's going on. He's got Houston and Alabama as a tie at first. UCLA the number 3, UConn the number 4, Texas the number 5. Then comes Tennessee. Then comes Gonzaga. Purdue's not there. Kansas isn't there. Arizona's not there. Marquette's not there, right?
No, Marquette got kicked out by
Creighton is there. St. Mary's is gone. San Diego State's there.
Interesting how their top 6 teams are all in the tournament. You said UConn, Texas, UCLA, Alabama, Houston. They're all there.
Gonzaga, right?
Yeah, Gonzaga.
Yeah. Well,
they're all there.
They're there for a reason, I guess.
Yeah. And that was something I noticed. If you look at these teams that are left in the tournament, the ones that aren't from the really strong conferences, obviously the SEC and the Big 12, they have multiple teams still left in there. But look at some of these teams. FAU, they won their conference in the regular season. They won the conference tournament. Houston won their conference regular season, won the conference tournament. What else do we got here? Miami, they didn't win the conference tournament, but they won the ACC during the regular season. A lot of these teams showed. San Diego State, same with the Mountain West. So a lot of these teams that are left showed that they can do it during the duration of an actual season. They tend to be the better team throughout the whole season. Didn't really matter what happened in the conference tournament. Look at Arizona. Arizona got kicked out in the first round, but UCLA won the Pac-12 during the regular season. They lost in that finals, but they were the best team in the Pac-12.
Right.
For a duration of a season. So,
yeah. I was just thinking, you're bringing it up because Gonzaga, of course, plays them. Ken Palm, here's an interesting stat. In 12 of the last 15 years, Gonzaga's been in the tournament 16 times in the last 24 years. 12 of the last 15 years. And they have outperformed their higher seed every time. They actually have lost to teams that have been lower seeded or quote unquote are the underdogs to them.
But you're saying the one in their region.
What? I'm sorry?
You're saying in their region, right?
Yeah.
Teams ahead of them?
Yeah. They've beaten every team that has a higher seed or better record than they do in the tournament. 12 out of the last 15 years. But they've lost to the team that is, they're supposed to beat, so to speak.
Yeah, so if they, for example, if they get past UCLA tonight, they got to worry about the Florida Atlantic or whoever they might face in the next round.
Right.
because that's the team they're not showing up for.
Right. That's the game they take off.
But I get what you mean. Like, if it's almost like a respect thing for them. They look at the seed and they're like, you think you're better than us? We'll show you.
Yep. Anyhow, yeah, that was.
And you know what? That line, like I said, it went from -2 to -1 now for UCLA. So there you go, Jim. Maybe that's what people know.
Bingo. Yeah.
It's the performance, right?
Yeah, it is the performance.
And this is the first year in a while Gonzaga hasn't had the pressure of being the #1 seed. They're supposed to win the tournament this year. There was none of that talk about them really this year. This year was the narrative was, they're not going to be as good.
Right.
Just write them off now. They're not going to be as good. They're going to be a good team, but they're not going to be as good against these other good teams.
Here we got here's your cheese sauce because okay. Fair enough. Should have read that before I put it in, but okay.
Yeah. Don't know about that one, but to answer Foxy's question.
You and I both are okay. Go ahead.
Good. We're good. It was really good.
We're playing a game of whack-a-mole, and
yeah,
sorry
for real. No worries. But yeah, Foxy, it was a really good time. I recommend it. Just make sure you bring tons of money because everything's expensive down there. Basically, for me, it was like everything was the same price, but then you slap the conversion rate on top of it.
Yeah, that makes a mess.
All right. And because like our dollar is like almost 60 cents on the American dollar, it was like paying double for everything almost.
Next time you go out to Vegas, I have to hook you up with my buddy, Glenn King. He's the king of Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I look up, I see him on Instagram or something. It's crazy. He's a wrestling fan, which is funny because he's a producer. And you would think, you know the script, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get back to you. I have a question for you about that. So he goes to the wrestling because they have wrestling shows out there. He's always with the wrestlers and, having fun, and they're throwing him all over the place. Vince McMahon is talking to the sports books about wrestling.
Yeah, I saw that.
How? I mean, it's a scripted thing. I mean,
you don't even know what to say. You're literally just like,
shows.
How?
I will say this in fairness. Even though I was directing it, the producer never told me who won. He told me how. He told me how the winning, how the person was going to win, so we could have. So when I saw that move, I was one move ahead, so we could get the shot. But I never knew who was going to win until I saw that, until he told me this is coming up. Then you see the guy make the move and you go, okay, fine. I know this guy's going to win. But, it's like, really? Okay. How does that work? I mean, if that's the case, then Vince McMahon's going to make a lot of money at the, betting. I don't, how do you bet? I mean, does that even make sense?
Yeah. So this was something I saw, and he's actually applied for the gaming license in the state of Indiana. So that's going to be, they got a tough decision on their hands there. Like, I don't know. It's just the fact that they're probably thinking in their heads, oh, great, we have to set the precedent for this. Unbelievable. This guy had to come and apply in our state. But yeah, I've actually seen mixed reviews on this, Jim. A few people I know who are really into the UFC scene, they love the fact that they're going to be able to bet on WWE despite the fact that it's fixed. But I'm personally on the other side. I'm more, siding with you where like I don't really understand it. And I guess we handicap soccer, so it's like you could say any soccer league is fixed. But the thing is they don't actually say it. And I think that's the big thing. Like the WWE comes out and it's like,
don't get me wrong about the fact that they're entertaining. I mean, and they're good athletes. I mean, I've seen these guys go flying off of everything and land on another guy, but make it look that way. and I've had a lot of former football players who are now wrestlers, are telling me that it's tougher than football because of the way that you have to, the great line from James Lamont, who used to play football for the Steelers, linebacker, said, I said, how is it different than football? He goes, well, let's put it this way. When you're in football, you don't help the guy tackle you. And I said, okay. And he said, here, if the guy's going to punch you or whatever, it's a choreographed type thing where you know where to move, you know what to do, because if you don't, he will punch you and it will be a punch. And you don't necessarily want that.
Yeah.
So, and that happens from time to time. Guys get caught. They might be thinking the guy's going to hit me with the left, hits me with the right, point, gets shot. So that happens, but you got to be careful. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about it and I thought, wow, I got to ask the guys about this because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But there's on Winners and Whiners, there's a couple of guys who post, the opportunity to bet for wrestling if you wish to for wrestling.
Yeah, and like I said, I know some people, they're super excited for it. I'm not personally, but then again, I don't even like UFC that much. It's probably one of the few sports I don't follow, and I'm the type where I'll watch golf, volleyball, table tennis sometimes. So
now my brother's a big boxing fan, but he won't watch a minute of UFC.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and it's funny too, because I saw, you were talking about golf. I saw that, the Live Golf Tour ratings were up and people were saying, well, they're not doing well. And I'm thinking, no, they're not doing well because nobody in their right mind who's a PGA fan is going to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're a Phil Mickelson fan, maybe you'll watch Phil if he's in the tournament. The format is not like real golf, and it's just a mess. I don't know why. Well, I do know why people play it because they pay them a lot of money.
Like I said, I'm waiting for them to hit up the LPGA. When they start poaching from them, then maybe I'll take Live Golf a little more seriously.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to, they could buy the LPGA. I mean, I think what the LPG payout this year in total payout money for the entire tour, I think is like 150, maybe $200 million. That's about a third of
Tiger Woods.
That's about a third of what the PGA payout is.
Yeah,
so,
literally what Live Golf offered Tiger Woods to come over.
Oh, they offered him a country. I mean,
yeah, and he still turned it down.
They said pick one. It's like
he still said no.
Right. I love Rory McIlroy though. That's you don't get a lot of golf smack talk. You really don't. Really, just doesn't come with the
He's a very polarizing player too.
Yeah,
I find people either love him because Rory, or they hate his guts because he's kind of a dick.
I remember my late nephew who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. Covered golf and loved it, and he was standing on the practice tee with Rory McIlroy, and Rory's father was with him, and people were, cheered when Rory came out. He signs autographs and takes selfies with people. And my nephew says to Rory, he goes, hey, look, the door of the players area was ajar, wasn't quite open yet. And you could see the tiger heads of the golf, the clubs with the tiger heads on them. And so Rory goes, well, my 15 minutes of fame are just about to end. He says, because when he comes out here, my father's going to be the only one who pays attention to me. So he's got a sense of humor. He seems to do well with the fans. He tweaks other golfers. What's not to like about that?
I feel like him and Tiger never really liked each other.
In another, if Tiger and Rory were at the top of their games, that would have been a rivalry. I could see that. I could see where those two would not necessarily enjoy playing each other.
Definitely.
Because when Tiger was in his prime, it wasn't as much Tiger's play, which he was fantastic. I'm not taking anything away from him, but it was Tiger's intimidation factor. You did not want to play in the final foursome with him on the last day of the tournament.
And the thing is, when he was like still in his prime, like he didn't talk to people.
No.
If you tried to talk to him, he would just kind of be like, "Yeah,
this is a day at the office, boys. Stay away from me."
All right, I'm trying to golf here. Like, can you F off, please?
And that's what, to be in fairness to Phil, that was the difference. I mean, Phil was very buddy with folks, and he would comment to some when somebody's standing there, when they're waiting to tee off, and he would be standing by the crowd. He'd always make a joke, or if somebody said something, guy asked him to autograph a golf ball. I remember seeing that before. Tosses him the golf ball, and he goes, "What do you autograph a golf ball with?" Because nothing that I write on here is going to stay long at all.
It's so true, though.
So, he sent it back. He goes, the guy goes, "What'd you write on it?" He goes, "Titleist."
What you print on it,
right? Printed Titleist on it. So
he should just have balls printed with his signature. Then, if
that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Well, he ended up signing the guys. The guy had one of those things where you stand in the back and you can see over people. Those big white things. He ended up signing that. So
yeah, I mean, you can make it stick on a golf ball. It just needs to dry. Like if you go and put your 3 dots on the golf ball with your Sharpie and wipe it away, it's going to wipe away. But like I have a ball that is a smiley face from Daniel Summerhays, and like it's the smiley face is still there because it was dry when this caddy threw it at me. But yeah,
we used to call a smiley face, cut ball when you hit it and you cut it by accident.
Oh yeah.
And usually you do that because you don't know what you're doing and you hit it wrong. So I had a lot of cut balls from the irons. But I mean, we used them until we had to putt. Then we would take a ball out of our pocket and putt with that.
Yeah.
So, save the balls. So,
yeah, probably better idea.
As much as possible. So anyway, all right. Well, we've gone 48 minutes. Any other final things before we move on? Unless you get to your day job.
Yeah, it's just this enjoy the basketball tonight. There's a lot of interesting games.
Yeah, we'll talk about them tomorrow. We'll handicap the Friday games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And what's the soccer? Is tomorrow a good day for soccer?
Oh yeah. So now that the international break started today, so there's basically the same number of games that there was today every day for the next week or so. Because they usually do 2 match days at a time. So yeah, we'll see. I think up to Sunday up to Saturday, and then starting Sunday, you'll start to see the same teams again playing.
Right.
But different teams.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, boys and girls, we shall see you soon, 2:00 tomorrow. Amadeus, myself, and the amazing Sean, who didn't bring us burgers or a cheesesteak or anything from the place. So, we're just have to get on him for this. This is just not acceptable.
Yeah,
so,
anyway. Can't come live from the burger shop and not get.
Oh, that's right. You can't share with the class, then you can't have it yourself. So there you go.
Go back to Barcelona. Do it from those streets.
Right. Take us to the Mediterranean. We'd like to see it. So anyway. Amadeus, have a great day. Guys, have a great day. Foxy, have a great day. I should probably take there you got it. Just look at how place is going nuts with the graphics flying all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, as we play with the graphics, We'll see you tomorrow. Whoa. Just that.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. What did happen?
It's
Okay.
glitching out for a sec.
Oh, look, he's gone nuts on me. All right. Well, hang on. Goodbye, everybody. Because right now nothing's working on my computer. Amadeus, you want to close the show, bud?
Yeah, for sure. Where's the
Go to the brands and then it'll still see it close. Close one or close two. Big close or close two. Let's see if I can.